What is up, you beauties? My name is BatchatBegins, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're discussing another tank that is upcoming and in testing, and that is the Object 260. And here it is with the legendary Pike camo that it's going to be coming into the game with. For me, the Object 260 was always one of those tanks that got overshadowed on PC, and that's mainly because of how different it actually is to the IS-7. Now, I do want to put a little disclaimer before we start the video here. This is not a replay of the actual Object 260. This is a reskin provided to me by my good friend Asen, and it's going to have the IS-7 stats as we go through. But as I talk you through the statistics of this tank, you will see just how different the Object 260 is from the IS-7. So, first thing to actually get into is the gun. Now, the gun is completely different. On Blitz, it's going to have 420 alpha compared to the IS-7's 460 alpha. And now, you might think that's bad, but it actually gets a significant DPM increase over the IS-7. The IS-7 currently is rocking 2,500, almost 2,600 base DPM. The Object 260 will have almost 3K DPM base. That's 2992 DPM just starting out. It's got a 7.12 rate of fire, whereas the IS-7 has a 5.62, and it gets out that it basically has a reload of 8.5 seconds, 8.42 seconds, which is amazing. This is going to be a very fast-firing, quick DPM tank. I'd liken it more to the 113 or the FV215B or the Chieftain in that regard. But the real downside comes when you look at the penetration for the tank. It does not have a ton of penetration, which is a bit disappointing. At the moment, I think it's going to have just about the same penetration as the IS-7. Yeah, 260 on the APCR, and for heat, which is its premium ammo, it's going to have 312. So not great penetration for this heavy tank, but this tank is more of a flanker because it has practically no armor. From what I'm told, it's going to have similar armor on the hull to an IS-3, and we all know how weak that is even at tier 8. But the turret is going to be fairly solid. So just like when I was talking with Droodles in VC a little while ago, we basically both agreed that this tank is more or less just like an IS-8 at tier 10. But it's going to have that alpha damage, which is very, very nice. Another thing is the gun statistics are a lot better with the 260. 2 seconds of aim time. It has almost 0.04 better dispersion. It's got 0.317, which is actually very, very nice. It does share that 6 degrees of gun depression, and that's kind of a little bit of a letdown, but it has fantastic mobility. 47 top speed, but it has nearly 200 more horsepower than the IS-7. Actually, no, my bad. It has the exact same horsepower, but because of that weight saved in the hull, it's going to be having a much higher power to weight ratio, which is great. And now the IS-7, we all know, is very sluggish, but this thing is going to be quite fast while traversing and while getting around. And it also has that significant reverse speed advantage. It has 20 miles per hour or kilometers per hour reversing, while the IS-7 only has 15, which is fantastic. So overall, I think this tank is going to be one of those mobile heavy tanks, a lot like the 113, the E5, the Chieftain Mark 6. It's not going to do very well when it comes to bouncing shells or being a proper heavy tank. This thing is, for all intents and purposes, the next big heavium to come onto the market. Now, of course, knowing Wargaming and all of their new tier 10s, they're probably going to release it into crates. And it's going to probably have a 5% chance in the crates. And it's not great. It's not great, I will say. I think this is going to be a very balanced heavy tank. It's not going to have very troll armor, but it will have a very, very solid gun, and I do think it's going to be very deadly in platoons. But I'd love to know what you guys think. Are you looking forward to the 260? It's been a reward tank on PC for a long time, so coming into the game as a premium is quite nice. But I'd also like to see Wargaming introduce some reward tanks into the game at some point. That would be pretty nice. Now, as we're seeing, the IS-7 that we're watching here with the 260 skin is wrapping up a very, very solid game, playing as a heavy tank, good and proper. But as we know, this thing, if it was the 260, would struggle a lot when it comes to actually, playing the normal role of a heavy tank. The E50 would have no problems whatsoever penetrating an IS-3 hull, as we all know. Let me know what you guys think. Of course, this is just some testing news. These are all subject to change, but I'd love to hear your thoughts and whether or not you're looking forward to the tank. All the relevant information will be posted in the description down below if you'd like to get in touch with me through Discord or you'd just like to subscribe to the channel. That would help me out a ton. Anyway, my name has been BatchatBegins. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you guys in the next one.